Most people believe genius is unbeatable. A person with a sharper mind, faster thinking, someone who sees solutions before others understand the problem. So the average person does something predictable. They step back, assuming the smartest person will always win. But history proves otherwise. Raw intelligence doesn't control the world. Strategic minds do. Countless brilliant thinkers have lost influence, opportunities, and power, not because they lacked intelligence, but because they misunderstood something deeper, how the human mind actually works. Niccolò Machiavelli understood this better than most. He observed leaders, advisors, rivals, and opportunists discovering something unsettling. The people who quietly shaped outcomes weren't always the most intelligent in the room. They were those who understood psychology, timing, perception, and emotional control. Here's the uncomfortable truth most ignore. A genius who reacts emotionally can be manipulated. A genius who reveals frustration can be predicted. A genius who thinks only logically can be strategically outmaneuvered. But a mind trained to observe quietly, control reactions, and move with intention becomes extremely difficult to defeat. This isn't about becoming a genius, it's about something more dangerous, rewiring how your brain operates. When your thinking changes, your reactions change. When reactions change, decisions become sharper. And when decisions sharpen, people notice something about you they can't explain. You stop reacting like everyone else. You start seeing patterns before they appear. You start understanding people before they understand themselves. Here are 10 powerful psychological rewiring techniques inspired by Machiavellian thinking that allow an ordinary mind to outmaneuver even the most brilliant thinker, not through louder arguments or intellectual competition, but through strategic awareness, emotional discipline, and mental positioning. Drop this affirmation: strategic mind activated. Number 1, build strategic awareness. Many people enter rooms already defeated. They see someone who speaks faster, explains ideas more elegantly, or recalls information instantly, and immediately assume they're outmatched. Their mind shifts into a losing position. They begin trying to prove intelligence, speaking more, explaining more, arguing harder. But this reveals a misunderstanding of how influence actually works. Highly intelligent individuals expect intellectual competition. That environment is comfortable for them. When you challenge them purely on intelligence, you're stepping into their strongest territory. Strategic thinkers avoid this mistake. Instead of trying to outshine brilliance, they observe from a higher angle, noticing dynamics others ignore. They watch who influences the room, paying attention to tone, timing, and emotional undercurrents. Where others focus only on facts, the strategic mind studies human behavior. Intelligence solves problems, but awareness controls outcomes. While others concentrate on being correct, strategic thinkers quietly study how people respond, who agrees, who's uncomfortable, who's trying to dominate attention. This awareness allows precise positioning of words. You speak less, but timing is carefully chosen. People rarely remember who sounded smartest. They remember who seemed calm, deliberate, and impossible to read. Drop this affirmation: strategy over intelligence. Number 2, think beyond the moment. Most people live in reaction mode. Something happens, they respond immediately. Their mind operates like a reflex system, fast, emotional, often careless. Strategic thinkers train their minds to stretch beyond immediate exchanges. While others react to what just happened, they're imagining what happens next. This separates ordinary thinking from calculated thinking. When someone asserts dominance, most focus on defending themselves in that moment, searching for perfect comebacks. But strategic minds pause internally, asking, where is this interaction going? Every action has direction. Every statement creates reaction chains.
When you think 2 or 3 steps ahead, you stop becoming trapped in emotional pressure. Instead, you steer the exchange's direction.
You might allow someone to speak longer, knowing extended talk exposes overconfidence. You might delay response, letting tension build before introducing a simple statement that redirects discussion. The key isn't speed, it's anticipation. Fast thinkers react quickly. Strategic thinkers react deliberately because they've examined possible outcomes. Drop this affirmation: I think ahead. Number 3, master emotional neutrality. One of the fastest ways to lose psychological advantage is letting emotions announce what's happening inside your mind. Most people do this constantly. Raised eyebrows reveal doubt, quick smiles show satisfaction, tone changes expose irritation. Your reactions become clues, telling others when you feel confident, challenged, or unsettled. Once people understand your emotional triggers, they can push them. Strategic thinkers treat emotional control as mental armor, not because they lack feelings, but because they refuse to let feelings guide visible behavior. A composed exterior creates uncertainty. When reactions remain steady, others struggle to interpret what's happening inside your mind. That uncertainty quietly shifts psychological power balance. Imagine 2 people in tense conversation. One reacts instantly, defending, explaining, voice slightly raised. The other remains calm, measured, unhurried. Their face shows little change, tone stays steady. Without saying anything about authority, the second person has changed the interaction's emotional atmosphere. The first begins feeling pressure, speaking more, trying to force reactions that never come. This is emotional neutrality's silent advantage. It keeps your mind clear while allowing others to expose themselves through their reactions. Drop this affirmation: calm is power. Number 4, turn simplicity into authority. Many assume intelligence must sound complicated. They build long arguments with complex language, technical terms, endless reasoning. At first, this may sound impressive, but confusion grows in listeners' minds. When ideas become too dense, people stop following logic. Attention drifts. Instead of remembering arguments, they remember mental exhaustion.
Strategic thinkers understand a powerful truth. Clarity creates influence. When messages are simple, they become memorable. When memorable, they become repeatable. When people repeat your idea, it shapes the entire environment. This is why history's most influential voices often spoke in direct, clean statements rather than complicated lectures. A clear sentence travels farther than complex explanation. Simplicity signals confidence. When you speak with clarity, you demonstrate understanding deep enough to express without hiding behind complexity. Strategic thinkers compress thoughts before speaking, removing unnecessary language, focusing on core insights others can immediately grasp. Drop this affirmation: clarity is power. Most people make critical mistakes when judging others. They listen to words. Someone speaks confidently, makes impressive claims, promises future results, and average minds form trust around those statements.
But strategic thinkers learn a different rule. Words are flexible. Behavior is consistent. Anyone can craft intelligent explanations or describe plans that make them appear capable. But statements often reflect what someone wants to project, not what they'll actually do. To understand accurately, you must watch patterns rather than sentences. Patterns reveal truth. Observe how someone handles pressure, reacts to small influence gains, treats people who can't offer immediate advantage. These moments expose character far more clearly than polished speech ever will. Drop this affirmation: actions reveal truth. Number 7, control the rhythm.
Most conversations move at unquestioned pace. Someone speaks, another responds instantly. The exchange accelerates until everyone reacts faster than they think. Strategic thinkers recognize whoever controls interaction rhythm quietly controls the environment itself. Instead of allowing conversations to rush uncontrollably, they introduce calm pacing. They listen fully before responding, allow small pauses between statements, keep voices steady rather than hurried. This changes the entire exchange's psychological atmosphere. When one person remains composed while others move quickly, attention naturally shifts toward calmer presence. The slower rhythm begins influencing the room. Drop this affirmation: I control the pace. Number 8, guard your mental energy. Strategic thinkers understand conservation advantage. Most people spend mental strength on things bringing no return, debating endlessly with uninterested people, reacting to every criticism, every unnecessary conflict. Mental energy isn't unlimited. Every decision, argument, emotional reaction drains cognitive resources. When wasted repeatedly, thinking clarity weakens. Strategic minds understand attention is power. Where you place it determines how effectively your brain operates. They ask, is this worth my focus? If no, they step away. Protecting mental energy allows staying sharp when it matters. When important decisions appear, your mind remains clear rather than fatigued. Drop this affirmation: my focus is power. Number 9, shape perception before speaking. Many believe influence begins when you start talking. They focus on crafting clever arguments, assuming strong reasoning will naturally gain acceptance. But human psychology rarely works that way. Before single sentences are spoken, people are forming judgments, observing posture, composure, eye contact, tone, presence. Strategic thinkers understand perception comes first. When people perceive someone as calm, confident, and deliberate, their words automatically carry more weight. They invest attention in signals projected before engaging conversation, regulating breathing, maintaining relaxed posture, keeping voices measured. These adjustments signal control, and control attracts attention. Number 10, become unpredictable. Highly intelligent people often rely on pattern recognition. They study behavior, analyze logic, quickly learning how others usually respond. Once they detect patterns, they predict what happens next.
Most people make this easy, reacting the same way every time, following familiar response habits. After short observation, anyone can begin predicting their behavior. Once predictable, they become easy to outmaneuver. Strategic thinkers avoid this trap. They remain consistent in values and discipline, but keep methods flexible. They don't allow responses to become mechanical, adjusting approaches depending on situations. This creates powerful psychological effect. When someone can't predict your responses, their confidence weakens. Mental models they built to understand you start breaking down. Drop this affirmation: I am unpredictable. Most people spend lives chasing intelligence, believing if they become the smartest person in rooms, they'll naturally gain influence. But history shows something more interesting. Many brilliant minds remained invisible, while others with quieter intelligence shaped decisions and guided outcomes. The difference was never just knowledge, it was how minds were trained to operate. These aren't tricks for sounding smarter, they're shifts in mental architecture. When you begin applying them, your thinking changes in subtle but powerful ways. You stop reacting to every stimulus, start observing more carefully, begin noticing behavioral patterns and hidden opportunities. Your mind becomes calmer but sharper. Your words become fewer but more deliberate. People start experiencing something unusual when they interact with you. They can't easily read your reactions or predict your next move. This is the quiet strength Machiavelli understood centuries ago. Power doesn't always belong to the loudest voice or fastest thinker. It often belongs to the person who sees situations more clearly than everyone else. When your mind becomes disciplined, reactions intentional, and awareness expands beyond surface interactions, you begin operating on a different level. At that point, competing with intelligence becomes unnecessary because you're no longer trying to out-talk anyone. You're quietly understanding the entire game structure. And once you see the structure clearly, you stop trying to win every moment. You start positioning yourself to win the outcome.